everyone, and welcome back to another Charlton video. Now today we do have again a lot of information and news to bring you, all kinds of transfer news, training news, and of course that new piece of news that emerged today that Ricky Holmes has signed a new contract. We will be talking about all the juicy details of that, but just before we start I just do want to say thank you once again for all the likes and subscribers that I've been getting over the past few weeks. I think last time we recorded a video was just about a week, just over a week ago, and I was talking about in that video how I just hit 600. Now we're well on our way to 700, so as always, if you are enjoying the video, make sure you do leave a like, leave a comment, and we'll chat about anything in the comments that we sort of cover in this video. And also don't forget to subscribe and press the little bell button as well, because that really does help me out. Also, just before we start the video, if you're the kind of fan that doesn't want to put money in Roland's pocket but you're looking for new sort of merch, I know the kit hasn't been released quite yet, but I have sourced some really nice retro sort of Charlton gear on Amazon that I've left all the details to in the description, so make sure you go and check that out if you are fancying buying a new little bit of kit for the new season. But anyway, let's get straight into the news. So the first bit of news that's coming out today, well, basically the first week in Ireland of training is over. The players just got the weekend off, and the main sort of thing that we've gathered from this sort of first week in Ireland, this training and all the squad coming back together, is that one, it was extremely tough. It was a lot of cardio stuff, a lot of runs on the beaches, the flower run they were talking about on social media, really stuff that's building up the fitness and building up the durability of the players throughout the season. So that's really good to see. I don't want to buy too much into it, just because, you know, again, you can't get too carried away with what's going on in pre-season. You know, the manager can say what he wants, the players can talk about how good the spirits are and everything as much as they want, but we do have to stay very grounded and make sure that the result, like Robinson said, we haven't achieved anything yet, but you know, it doesn't do any harm to have a good pre-season, and there are a lot of positive vibes coming out. Yeah, like I said, a lot of the players are in high spirits. It feels like, to me, and I'm going to say it, this is the first time, I'm a bit reluctant to say it, but it feels like we're getting our identity back a little bit. It feels like now we have real Charlton players in Holmes and McGuinness and Pearce and players like that, and every bit of news that's coming out is positive lately, and there's a very small little section of bad news, such as the Vettekele loan, which isn't even that drastic. So it's looking really good. The future's looking really good for us, but let's not get ourselves carried away. There was a Robinson interview where he said that there was something over the weekend that potentially could excite fans, and then he talked about getting some more players in, 3 or 4 more players that he wants to get in. I think what he was referring to was the Holmes contract. I think he does tend to, you know, wear his heart on his sleeve, and he says things, Robinson, which I really like in a manager, as long as as he delivers on what he's saying. So nothing happened over the weekend. A few fans were getting a little bit disgruntled. Oh, what's he talking about? Nothing's happened. You know, he spoke too soon. But then all of a sudden, I think what he must have been talking about was the Holmes contract. And today, sort of early this afternoon, Holmes was confirmed to have signed a new contract until 2020, so an extra 3 years on his contract. Sheffield United can bugger off. We've got our man Ricky Holmes, the most important signing, I believe, our player of the season for the entire season, for the entire transfer window, I should say. He's penned the deal and we've got him, and that is excellent news. Now, other than the Ricky Holmes deal, we are playing Crumlin tonight, so that is an Irish team. I'm not sure if they're in the sort of Irish Premier League. I don't really know a whole lot about Irish football, to be honest, but we are playing them tonight, 7:45. Make sure you tune in. Follow me on Twitter, and I'll try and find a free stream for you guys that don't have the new, I don't think it's called Valley Gold, but the new sort of membership where they sort of stream the games and give commentary on the games and stuff. I will say that tonight, if you do subscribe to the Charlton version of the coverage, the official sort of Charlton coverage, Mark Kinsella, who is my personal favourite player of all, Charlton player of all time, is doing the commentary, and I don't know if he's doing the commentary actually, but he's on the panel tonight, and he will be answering questions from fans and that kind of stuff. So it will be worth a little watch, a little tune in if you are subscribed to the Valley. It's bugging me that I don't know what it's actually called. It's not Valley Gold, is it? Valley Pass is what it's called. Valley Pass coverage. So yeah, that's the official sort of coverage tonight, and for the rest of the season, I believe, on the Charlton matches. But like I said, if you follow me on Twitter, I will try and find a free stream. I don't know how easy that's going to be to access, but we can always try, can't we? So basically, if we move on to the transfer news now, David Martin is with the squad. So he has been confirmed by Richard Cooley and a few other sources, he was in photos and things like that, to have travelled with Charlton to Ireland, and for this sort of pre-season tour that we're that we're doing. So he is probably an imminent signing. I don't know what particular stumbling blocks are in the way why he hasn't signed yet, but he's with us, he's with the squad. I think he'll be a very good signing. He's made like 272, I think, appearances in League One over his career. He's 31 years old, a very good keeper. We talked about him a couple of times on the past few episodes that he might be our sort of goalkeeper potential signing. I think he will be a permanent signing and not a loan, which is also very good news, but I'm just guessing that because I think he's out of contract at MK Dons. So that's very, very good. I think that perhaps what it is that Robinson's sort of assessing him, sort of getting him into the group. Not sure, like I said, why a contract or whatever hasn't materialised yet, but nonetheless, very good news that we've got a goalkeeper signing in the works, just like we've got a winger signing in the works of Cameron Stewart. On the topic of Cameron Stewart, he was described by Robinson as being not necessarily on trial. So what Robinson said is that he is essentially, we're helping him out. Charlton are helping him out with some training. He's very, very sort of underleveled in terms of fitness, match fitness, and he's a long way off. So I think he said that July the 17th is when we will make a decision on whether Cameron Stewart will be signed for us. He said that if we wanted to sign Stewart, what he basically said was that we're doing him a favour for giving him some training. If we did want to sign, he said, I'm sure that would be able to come to fruition, but that won't be decided until July the 17th. So today is July the 10th. So this time next Monday, we will know, I believe, whether Cameron Stewart is signing for us permanently. You also have to consider that Ceballos is part of this squad along with Naby Sarr. So Ceballos is probably being watched by Carl Robinson, and maybe he's making a decision between Ceballos and Stewart, and maybe if none of them impress him, maybe we've got another potential signing in the pipeline. I don't know, but I think what it seems like, or what I gather, is that Stewart and Ceballos are sort of fighting for that fourth winger position, and we're going to either keep Ceballos or sign Stewart, depending on who impresses him the most. So, Ben Reeves, let's talk a little bit about Ben Reeves quickly. He was on the bench for MK Dons for one of their sort of pre-season games. I don't know exactly why he was on the bench. I think he's already out of contract, in fact. Maybe he's just training with MK Dons while he hasn't confirmed a new club or agreed a contract with us, hopefully. But he was on the bench for them, and apparently the article said that I read that he is not going to be travelling to, I think, Hungary for the MK Dons pre-season tour. So that's good news for us, potentially. It was also talked about that a few championship clubs might be interested in him, but I think that we are going to be able to get our hands on Ben Reeves quite soon. He will be one of the players, one of the transfer targets that we discussed last week that will eventually come to us. I very, very much hope, because I think he will be a very, very good player for us in that position that we need another number 10 in. Yeah, and that'll be a very, very good signing for us. So on De Silva and Hodgson, so De Silva is apparently almost done. We are currently working to get that transfer deal done. I think a lot of Charlton fans will be happy to see De Silva sign on loan. Luckily, we don't have any loan players in so far for this transfer window, but I can imagine we will go into the season with maybe one or two. De Silva, I don't know if we still want to get Mavadidi done, but if someone goes, probably Mavadidi on loan. And I think that'll be the only loan signings that we get in, but I don't want to speak too soon on that, but I just think that will be the case. Also, Josh McGuinness has resumed training, which is very, very good. He had obviously an extended break because of, I think, his international duties with Northern Ireland. So he managed to get back to training a week later than the other guys, and he is, back in training, back with the squad, and may or may not feature tonight in the game against Crumlin, which I, by the way, I'm very excited for, to finally get Charlton playing some football again, and just to sort of see the squads that we're trying out, and to just have a look at what's going on and some of the youngsters that we might trial. I'm just so excited for tonight. But yeah, Josh McGuinness is back in training. And just finally on the transfer front, nothing that I have heard so far on Lee Hodgson. No updates in that regard. Maybe that's one that's going on in the background. Maybe we've got a new target that hasn't quite emerged into the sort of mainstream media or anything so far. And then obviously I did talk a little while ago about potentially Aaron Barnes being that right back. So maybe we're just going to, give him this week of sort of games to see if he can impress Carl Robinson and be that right back. And if he doesn't think that Barnes is quite ready, then maybe we'll get someone in. Not too sure, but I haven't heard too much on Hodgson. So that's it for the transfer news. I think that is, I think the deals are getting done that need to be done. gradually. We're still pretty early in the transfer window and we've got sort of 4 or 5 deals done, or if you include Ricky Holmes, sort of like 4 deals done, and then obviously Stewart and potentially De Silva materialising as well. So I mean, I'm happy with our transfer business so far. It's just a matter now of who we can keep. Very, very good that we kept Holmes. The next ones to keep will be Konsa and getting Reeves done. They're my next 2 things I'm looking at. And then also the striker situation with like a Jose and who are going to be our strikers going into the season, which I already spoke about a little bit as well. So basically, that's all positive news. I do just want to quickly bring the tone down. You know, not all news in football is positive. Bradley Lowry passed away this week, and I saw that, obviously, if you don't know who Bradley Lowry is, he was a very, very brave little 6-year-old boy who was a mascot of various games, best friends with Jermaine Defoe, obviously a Charlton youth talent that went on to do great things as well. But he passed away. He was a very, very inspirational young lad, and a lot of people have been talking about every single English football game that's played on the beginning of the season for there to be applause in the 6th minute, which will be a really, really nice tribute to such an inspirational little character in football. So the reason I'm just saying that is because I just want to help communicate that message to people who may be watching this video, that I think it'll be a really nice touch if we did applaud in the 6th minute, and if that's something can get done along those lines, that'll be so nice and a nice little touch, a nice little send-off for Bradley from football fans and all the football fans that he's touched the hearts of over the last sort of year or whatever. And also a little bit more of sad news is that Carl, I don't know how to say his name, Akeem or Akeme, the goalkeeper that did spend a few games at Charlton, a little while at Charlton a couple of years ago, he was diagnosed with leukemia, which is obviously very, very sad. So our best regards from Charlton to Carl, and let's hope that he can recover. I've seen his Twitter and he's very strong-minded towards the whole situation, which is really good to see. Yeah, Charlton fans, we must pay our respects to Bradley and to Carl, and hope that Carl gets better, and then hopefully materialise that little applause from our end for Bradley Lowry. Now, another more positive bit of news that's coming out of Charlton this week is that we have launched our new website. So I know it's like, oh great, a new website, who really gives a shit? But basically, I've been on it. It is a lot easier to navigate around, and it's actually it looks very, very nice. The only thing that I don't quite like is the font. Other than that, it's really nice to get around. It's so much better than the old website. Very simple. You can go and look at sort of our coaching staff, our first team squad, the league table, really, really easily. And it's just so much better than the old website. So, I mean, it's not a big whoop, but it's a nice touch, and it certainly makes our club look more professional and more approachable for sort of neutral fans. And it doesn't go amiss. It's a nice little touch. So the last thing that I want to talk about this week is that Lee Bowyer has done an interview with Richard Cooley, a very long sort of extended interview, which is really interesting, worth a read. You should go and check it out. He talks about his partnership with Keith Jones. He talks about all the sort of big footballing heroes and icons that he's met throughout his career and how that's led him up to, emerge on this new journey of becoming a coach and for Charlton. And, he talks about Sir Bobby, Terry Venables, all these kind of people. And it's a very, very interesting read. So you should go and have a look at Richard Cooley's Twitter if you do want to see what Lee Bowyer was talking about with Richard Cooley there. So Ricky Holmes has signed. That's the biggest bit of news this week. That's the news that everyone was waiting for, hearts in mouths. That's the kind of signing that says, yeah, we are now emerging as promotion candidates, like for real. I think that anything short of promotion this season will be failure. We've still got a lot more time, to get some contracts signed, to get some new players in, and to make sure we keep hold of a lot of our good players. But it's all, again, like I always say, looking very positive for Charlton in the coming weeks and over the last few weeks. That is all for this video. Thank you very much for watching once again. Make sure you leave a like if you did enjoy. Make sure you subscribe down below also if you have enjoyed the series and if you're enjoying all the sort of Charlton episodes that we're doing weekly and all the other sort of football stuff that we're doing on the channel, as well as FIFA 18. But other than that, mate, there's another little video here that you can click on, and this is where we talk about Everton and are they the best club for English talent. And, with Wayne Rooney going there, with Michael Keane going there, with Jordan Pickford going there, it's a nice, interesting little watch. So you might as well click on it, mate. I mean, it doesn't do you any harm, does it? Sweet.